it is my historic privilege to give you the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
President Trump takes the stage and passionately argues gun-free schools are actually putting children at risk. Good evening from Washington, D.C., and thank you for joining us for news from a Catholic perspective. I'm Wyatt Goolsby, in for Lauren Ashburn. At the annual Conservative Political Action Conference in Washington, the president told the pro-gun rights crowd if a teacher can handle a gun, they should be armed. White House correspondent Mark Irons has more. Good evening, Mark.
Good evening, Wyatt. The president continues to push this idea in the wake of the Florida school shooting. New reports are coming out that an armed deputy at the site of the school did not act to stop the shooter. The president believes a gun-toting teacher would have saved students' lives.
And a teacher would have shot the hell out of him before he knew what happened.
The president says schools are an easy target for attackers, and armed teachers with concealed weapons could be more effective than armed security guards.
I don't want to have 100 guards standing with rifles all over the school.
The president pumped up the conservative crowd defending the right to bear arms. He did not share his idea to increase the age limit to buy certain types of rifles. It's a proposal the NRA is opposed to.
You don't mind if I go off script a little bit, because, you know, it's sort of boring. It's a little boring.
A freewheeling Trump spoke for over an hour, making big claims.
My administration, I think, has had the most successful first year in the history of the presidency.
He shared wins for his conservative base, like funding the military and cutting red tape.
No president has ever cut so many regulations in their entire term.
Trump said it's not Republicans holding up an immigration deal that would allow undocumented immigrants to become citizens.
Democrats have totally abandoned DACA. They don't even talk to me about it.
In October, Trump canceled DACA. Now Congress has the power to help young immigrants known as Dreamers. But the president will only sign a bill that includes his demands.
Don't worry, you're getting the wall, don't worry.
He had a faith-based reminder for the crowd.
We don't worship government, we worship God.
And a warning for foreign countries like Iran.
People that treat us badly, we treat them much worse than they can ever imagine. That's the way it has to be. That's the way it has to be.
He also announced big sanctions on a rogue regime.
North Korea, we imposed today the heaviest sanctions ever imposed on a country before.
At a White House briefing, President Trump's Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin said the U.S. has now imposed over 450 sanctions on North Korea. We asked if this will cause the country to have a change of heart. He told us sanctions work. Wyatt?
White House correspondent Mark Irons reporting. Thanks, Mark.